Wacha msikia story nyingine. Jojo mambo.
Poa sana.
I want you guys to hear something. Hope you guys are
Kidogo.
ready. Hope you guys are ready. Joanne, welcome to Vote TV Mambo.
Poa sana Nelson.
Hebu ambia tazamaji na watch kutoka wapi?
I'm watching from Kenya, Ruiru.
Guys, wacha niwaambie hivi. The story we are about to have right now. You'll cry. It will break your heart. It will shake you to the core. Pahali ulipokaa chini vizuri. Sit down and just listen to what we're about to be told. If you're a mother, especially if you're a mother, how many mothers do we have here tonight? How many mothers do we have in the room tonight? I won't even say anything. Joanne, kuja hapa. Talk to us.
Hi everyone. My name is Joanne. I'm mom to 3. And early in 2022, I realized my daughter was being defiled by my neighbor. So
Oh my God.
tulienda polisi and yeah, we started off the journey, but ilikuwa inatingika. People are being bribed left, right and center, and I approached Nelson. Nikamwambia kuko hivi mimi hata mwenye anani attack anajua siko financially stable, ndio maana anani attack to that point. So Nelson akapull 1 2 3 strings na nikaanza kusikizwa, like prosecutor akaacha kuchezea kesi. Mwenye alikuwa anasimamia prosecutor wa TIK, I think akachange or something, and kesi kaanza kwenda vizuri. I remember Nelson, I was here when 30th I texted you on 30th August. Yeah, and I told you tumeenda, judgment imetolewa, amepatikana na 3 accounts.
So wait, Joanne kidogo. Ni mangapi? Wajua Githongo pia ni mushkila. Amesema my daughter was defiled. Do you people know what he's talking about? I repeat. Amesema my daughter was defiled. Do you know what she's talking about? Okay. Joanne, ebu tafadhali waambie, and sorry mom. We're going to give you a lot of love tonight. I know it's a very tough story. How old did you find out? How old is your daughter? Skizeni. Listen.
2 years old.
Skizeni. That's the part I want you to pay attention to. She was only 2 years old. Pay attention. So the fact, Joanne, on the 30th of August,
I texted.
She was found guilty of 3 counts. Which 3 counts was she found guilty of?
Defilement, child abuse, and improper act. Indecent act.
Which is actually, yes, that's great. Defilement, child abuse, indecent act. Kuna kitu ningetaka waambie, maybe kwa kuna watu wajui kesi ya mtoto wako. And by the way, Tell them the name of your daughter.
She's called Jaylene Jebet.
Jaylene. Ndio watu waweze kuelewa, how did it come to the point ya kwamba your neighbor alikuwa na defile mtoto wako?
So I had given birth to my last born. Normally I give birth through the normal way, but this time I did CS. So the bill hosi ilikuwa imeni overwhelm. Finances, they are not financing, like zilikuwa tu zinapigana chenga.
Yeah.
So she was the only one who used to come through for me. Umekula mami, wacha nikushikie mtoto wenda lala. Because my kid alikuwa the newborn alikuwa na colic, saa zingine alali the whole night juu mimi mwenyewe sijashiba. So sitoi maziwa. So yeah, that's how she came to be close with my kids. Yes.
Litmus, now you guys, you see now your eyes are popping out. Exactly. It's ni mwanamke. Si mwanaume. Ni mwanamke. Yes. Shikilia hapo. Joanne, as we continue, and by the way, if it's this case, me, I know this case, and this is one of the most heartbreaking cases I've had to deal with. Let me, if you want to take a break when you're talking, just let me know. Maybe you can have like a glass of water or something, and then we continue. Okay? So do you? Yes, Mashaga Wanjiro. Yes, she's a lady. Okay, tuendelee. So that's how she started to come to you. Wacha nikuchikia mtoi as you heal. Continue.
So on January 22nd, my kids were being dedicated on January 23rd. So I went out to buy for them clothes for dedication, the white garments. When I came back, my kids walikuwa wamejifungia. My son was like, Auntie Maggie was here, lakini hatujamfungulia. Juu ulisema tusifungulie mtu. Nikasema sawa. As I was cooking, she came to my house. Tukachapa story kama kawaida, and she was like, after a while, akaniambia si niende na Jebet asalimie baba yetu. She's married apparently. Si niende na Jebet asalimie baba yetu. The guy they were staying with used to work at Mill Bakers. So akasema akuje na keki. Innocently I said ni sawa. My cousin was there. My cousin asked me, wewe kwani ujono msichana natoa mtoto ulimi kwa mdomo na kiss mtoto deep kiss? Nikaambia shiko, mimi hata sasa hivi nimechoka, kuna kitu naweza ona. Ebu kama ni hivyo wacha Andy, my male cousin was around. Wacha ende mtoto. And hata akukaa. Nikaambia ebu endea mtoto kwa Maggie house number 6. Kufika akanok. Sasa ndio I think Maggie alikuwa amemtoa stock na ameanza kumuingiza hizo vitu and stuff. Akiita mtoto anasema niko hapa kwa meza, Auntie Maggie ameniweka kwa meza. And my cousin akamsukumanisha akaingia akachukua mtoto and they came. So when alikuja, we noticed the skin tight ilikuwa imeshukishwa. Juu I think hiyo harakati ya kuchukua mtoto hakumvalisha skin tight. So when my cousin asked, ndo akatuambia Auntie Maggie alikuwa ananiingiza vidole huku akinilamba kasusu.
Okay. It's okay. I'll mute first. It's fine. It's fine. Guys, as we wait, You okay?
So akatuambia Ntimagi alikuwa anamuingiza vidole huko ndani, Carrot akimlamba. Kwanza alisema alikuwa she was like literally demonstrating what she was doing. So me I was shocked. My cousin akakuwa like, don't go, kidonda yako ijapona, uwezi enda vita saa hii usiku. It's quite late. Because my CS was septic at that time. So nikaambiwa siwezi enda kupigana hivyo, atanigonga juu anajua weak point yangu at that point, atanichapa nianze tena kurudi hospitali kushonwa, that's another expense. So I waited for the kid's dad. Akafika, alikuwa anafanya Nyanyuki kazi at that time, and I told him, na akaniambia we'll wake up in the morning, because saa zingine zachukua sheria mkononi mwako, upate mna cancel wrong and wrong. Mtakuta unasamehea huyu juu ya kudefile mtoto wako, ndio usipelekwe ndani juu ya assault. Tukaamka asubuhi, we took the kid to the police station, tukaenda na polisi hospitali. The kid was examined, tukaambiwa the upper minora ilikuwaga tuliambiwa tu basically no hymen, upper minora sijui ilikuwa imefanya nini, she was bruised, alikuwa na discharge, so it means it was frequent. And I remember some time back when I had a house help before she left, alikuwa ameniambia mtoto anatoa vitu huku chini. Nikamwambia because she was hiyo age ya poti, nikamwambia make sure unaosha poti vizuri, inaweza kuwa poti ndio inafanya hizi vitu zote. So hata siku concentrate on that, nilimwambia tu osha poti because girls we are sensitive. So this time niko hosi, naambiwa inaweza kuwa nizo objects alikuwa anainsertiwa, because she was given very high antibiotics to heal that, to cure the type of infection she had. So tukarudi, and that's how the case ilianzia.
Gosh. Be strong, man. I know it's tough, but you just be strong. Again, to all the viewers, can we shower Joanne with all the love that we can right now? I know this story for the longest time, but every time, I mean, when she talks about it, it takes me to the first day she told me about this case. Mama Jaylene, we love you. Know that here everyone is listening. Thank you.
So Nelson, on the 30th, I left it at that. After the 30th, I was called by a probation officer, and I was told to avail myself in TIK, of which I did. I went to TIK, we talked, the probation officer explained to me the protocol and why she called me. And I was straight to the point. The kid is still undergoing counseling, because with such, sometimes anakaga na niuliza, "Mom, mbona mimi Auntie Magindo alinichagua na kwa plots kuna watoto wengi?"
Oh gosh.
Na shindoga kitu ya kumwambia. Sometimes inafikaga hiyo time ya counseling, I just break, because Nelson, if I tell you, if you see whatever my daughter draws, akiambiwa draw whatever makes her angry, you'll know that kid is angry.
Oh gosh.
So we were supposed to go back to court for the sentencing on the 17th. I remember I told you 17th October. But it didn't happen that way. So the probation officer, I think, ilimshika mahali, akanikola akaniambia, sasa mimi nakuibia hii kama siri, but kesi yako ni kama watu wamekulia.
Oh gosh.
sentence imepeanwa na haukukua, of which it's not supposed to be like that. Kesi mbili zimetupiliwa mbali, hiyo defilement na child abuse. Ameachiwa na indecent act. Indecent act inasemaga not less than 10 years. Nelson, hata me when the probation officer asked me, I said categorically as a mother, kama kungekuwa na venye hata angekosa kushikwa lakini roho yake ichange, ache kufanyia watoto, because this is the kid tumejua. How many other kids amefanyia huko nje wenye wazazi wao hawajui? How many other kids?
Okay, and Mama Jaylene, huyu mwanamke, she's married, she has a husband, correct?
Yes.
So let me ask you a question. Does the husband know about this?
The husband, yes, the husband knows. The husband comes to court. The husband has been to prison. The day alishikwa, before she sent for me Mongikis, the husband had come to try to tell me to pull down the case, that they can pay me. And they were very categorical. Sai uko broke, si tukupe pesa hii maneno iishe. Nikamwambia mimi hata nikuwe broke ama nisikuwe broke, Nelson, a lot of kids wanna growing up with bitterness and hate, because such things happened to them when they were young and nobody addressed them. They didn't seek counseling. Others get even HIV and AIDS and they can't tell their parents because they know they're not sexually active. Mtoto akikuwa mkubwa ndo anaanza kusema alishika at birth, na wewe unajua hauna, mtu wako ana. So ni hiyo time ya defilement yenye alinyamazia hakusema.
So the husband was approaching you trying to give you money. Let me ask you, which brings me to the next statement. Could it be possible that both the husband and this woman were defiling your child?
The doctor said there is a possibility, because a hymen cannot break with a finger. A hymen cannot break with a carrot. Yeah, it can with a carrot, but with a finger it can't. Because you remember when we were in Kenyatta, alitolewa a piece.
Yeah.
Uko ndani, I think ilikuwa imevunjikia. So
I remember.
The doctor was saying there's a possibility, but since mtoto ameinsist sana na Auntie Maggie, because the kid was very categorical, Nelson, even if you call tomorrow, even if you call another day, the kid will still tell you. And that's what she said in court. Because I remember the first time he went, she didn't talk because the accused was there. She was so afraid. Akimwona, she starts shouting. The second time, she was still there and she didn't talk. The third time, there was an activist called Logan Christ. She said it is not even an environment for a kid. The way they're handling the case, they're not handling it as if they're dealing with a 2-year-old kid. They're handling it as if they're dealing with an 18 or even a 10-year-old kid.
Unbelievable.
Because the environment was not even friendly. Anyone who knows TIK, Court 9, it looks like a toilet. Very dark. So ata mkipatana, if this one is, for instance, this one is Maggie, this one is my kid, they're like this, wanaangaliana. So there is no privacy.
Got you.
So my kid akimwona anapiga nduru. So ndio one of the police officers, he was very helpful. Ata the third time alifanya mtoto ongea, alifanya the room to be friendly, baby friendly.
That's right.
Akeka toys.
These are 2-year-old. It's a 2-year-old baby. I mean, we have to think about this. I mean, you know, like the thought about it as a father, the thought about it as a mother just makes you sick. This is a 2-year-old. For Christ's sake. Continue, Mama Jaden.
Okay, he made the room friendly. That time the accused was not there. Judge alikuwa amesema we take a break, and if she'll not be able to talk, apeleke kwa children's psychiatrist. So polisi akamake an friendly environment, akampea soda, akampea sweetie, and the kid now started telling the police. The police was asking, pole pole mami, ule anti ametoka hapa, mbona umeshindwa kuongea? Akaambia polisi, uncle, unajua anti Magi alikuwa anafanya hii na hii na hii na hii. And then the police broke down, alilia, a whole man crying, alilia tu.
Absolutely.
Akatoka. Then tuko na judge amerudi, so I think alienda akaambia judge, mtu yeye anajua Kenya anasema juu nimem-oji bila anyone, mtu wote kumwambia anything. And the kid was talking, was telling me why she was not talking. Right. And why she doesn't want to talk when Auntie Maggie is here. So the judge came, the accused akafichwa, and the kid talked. Imagine a whole mama, the lawyer to that woman is I can call her my shosh, because she's really old. Mtoto amesema statement, and then she's like, venye uliingizwa hizo vitu ulisikiaje?
Oh gosh, come on, man.
God forgive this woman. She might be doing her work, but the questions she's asking my kid is just out of it. Ati mami, venye uliingizwa hizo mkono na carrot ulisikiaje? Ati nawe mbona ulikuwa unakisa Auntie Maggie? Sanikole, why would you even ask such questions? Already we mwenye unajiconvict, umeconfirm mtoto alikisiwa. So hata without anything indecent act, ulikiss mtoto. You yourself have confirmed there was kissing. Without even me saying my statement, you have confirmed there is kissing. Hatukuongea. And we continued, and the judge, hata kwa verdict ya judge yenye ilisomwa on the 30th, the judge alisema without reasonable doubts the kid was very confident. Alafu there was trauma in the kid.
That's right. Yes.
There was trauma in the kid akiona the accused. So without any reasonable doubts, a kid of such an age cannot lie and say confidently. Ingekuwa ni mtoto amekochiwa, hangekuwa constant, because she was, unaona ile mtoto ukimpea sweetie atasema alifungua sweetie ndo akaweka kwa mdomo. She was going step by step. Alinitoa skin tight ndo akatoa suruari ndo she was very straightforward.
That's right.
So ingekuwa ni kitu ya kukochiwa, ingekuwa anasema hii, anasema hile, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nikambo imetupiliwa mbali, amepewa 3 years in prison instead of all those accounts. And then hawakuwa ananiambia. That's why I asked the prosecutor today. I was in TIK Nelson.
Okay.
And I asked the prosecutor, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call the lawyers? Because the this case, FIDA has the case, a Mzungu activist has the case. So why didn't you call either of them if maybe you didn't want to talk to me?
That's true.
Why didn't you call them and tell them, by the way, sentencing is happening? It was supposed to be on the 17th, but maybe the lawyer of the accused, because she's not even an accused at that point, requested of that. But akasema ti lawyer wa accused usually insist here on that date. Nikamuuliza, Nelson, when we are checking the files, they have gone to court 4 more times without us.
Oh my God.
4 more times without us. And Nelson, I'll tell you for free, on September, August, someone close to me, a man who married my sister, one of my sisters, had a case in court, and he was a bank manager. and money got lost in between. And whatever they have done to my case is what was done to my brother's case, because aliambiwa alikuwa amepewa sentencing the same way, na mtu akasimama kotini akajifanyisha na watetea, alafu mwisho akamfuata nje akamwambia, you can give me money, I go and see the judge, mtareduciwa sentence. And that's what happened. Badala ya sentence ya 20 years in prison akapewa 2 years na anaweza lipa cash bill, na hivyo ndo alitoka.
Welcome to Kenya, man. Now,
So when I was told ati ametolewa hizo zingine mbili na amepewa 3 years.
The same way. Same way. And it's the same court, the same judge, right?
No, the judge changed during the last lap. We have a different judge. The other one was taken to Milimani.
So, Mama Jaylene, here we are. On the 30th of August, when you reached out to me, I was so happy because we knew she was found guilty beyond any reasonable doubt for A, defilement, B, child abuse, and 3, indecent act. So actually, looking from all those charges, I was expecting from the sentencing, at least she was supposed to get minimum 30 years. Minimum. But now she has gone from 30 years plus to only 3 years. Nimesema kwamba you were told that she kind of managed to buy her freedom.
Yes.
Let's come back to this couple. Do they have money?
I don't know. Apparently, after that, I knew they had money, because the way they were dashing money to everyone who can help them in that case, that's when I came to know they have money.
How much did the husband try to offer you so that you don't take them to court?
I didn't even give them a chance to
but he tried.
Tell me. Yes, he tried. Then I told him, wait a minute, let me call my husband. I told my husband, there are people here who want to talk to you. He said, wabaki hapo nakuja. When he came, my husband told them, Mr. Kipesa yenyu, just tell me how my baby can get back to the state that she was in. Because as at now, mtoto anasikia uchungu, mtoto anauliza mbona umemfanyia. Nataka tu kitu moja, if she can get back her virginity, her mental health, and I'll say achiliwe. And they didn't have an answer. That's when, after my husband left for work in Nyanyuki, that's when Mongikis was sent to my house.
Okay, that's a part that I want us to come to. I want you to talk about that. There was an attempt on your life. They sent Mungikis to your house. I want us to tell us when it happened and how. I mean, what went on that day.
So we came. It was on Sunday evening. I was cooking, so my kids were like, "Mommy." My husband had gone back to work. He used to work in Nyanyuki, so he used to come maybe on the weekends and go back. Mami, kuna wageni kwa mlango na wako na mapanga. And initially I had told my kids not to be opening the door to anyone after that incident. But my son, being a boy, alifungua. So mi nikatoka mbio kwanza venye nimeambiwa kuna panga, and I was there. They are trying to bully their way in. You see, I have a big body, so that's a plus for me. Nikasukumanisha huko. And I asked them, nataka nini? Tuambia ni either uende utoe Magi by kesho before aende kotini, ama takufa. I just slammed the door on them, nikafunga kila mahali. I tried calling for help. It was too late. my mom couldn't come. Hata kama angekuja ninge risk mamangu kukuja watu wajue mali anaishi, ninge risk hata mali naweza jificha. So I called my husband, akaniambia ndo amefika Nyanyuki, akaniambia kenye utafanya, funga juu funga chini, pigia polisi. The police, apparently we are taxpayers, but the police don't have a vehicle in our area, so they couldn't
Come on, man.
come.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Wait.
Mpaka asubuhi. Watakuja asubuhi na pikipiki.
Yeah, my blood pressure going up for nothing right now. My blood pressure is going up right now for real. Walikwambia makarao hawana gari ya kuja kukuona kukuangalia.
Hawana gari, then wananiambia ama niwalipie Uber. Najiuliza, this woman knows I'm financially unstable at the moment. How do you expect me to pay for you Uber to come rescue me? Nikikufa mtatoa wapi gari ya kukujia mwili yangu na watoto? And I'm telling them wote walikuwa na panga. I was trying to tell them everybody who was in my door, they had pangas na ni mamongiki, because you could see from venye wameweka nywele. Ati madam, wejifungie, eza kujicontain ndani mpaka asubuhi, hakuna kitu tutafanya.
This is crazy, bro. They clearly sent Mungiki to come and kill you. They sent Mungiki to come and threaten you to pull out the case. How many were
they were around 7, because the ones I saw on my door were 4. Then niliambiwa na my neighbors, others were on the stairs. Wengine walikuwa kwa stairs. Nikauliza, then the next morning watu wa pikipiki, me I'm normally friends with anyone, because kazi, your work does not determine who you are. So I called watu wa pikipiki hawakukuwa that day. So in the morning wenye nilikuwa nimepigia walikuja straight kwangu, wakatuambia watoto hata wasiende shule juu wanaweza fuata watoto. Fanya hivi, dress up, wacha tusimame hapa tukungoje. Dress up, beba kenye unabeba, tutapeleka vitu kwenyu, because they know my place. Tutapeleka vitu kwenyu, wengine 5 wakupeleke police station, you report.
That's right.
So that's what they did. Wakadivide pikipiki wasijue venye tunaenda. Others wakapeleka watoto home na vitu. Mimi nikaenda na wengine 5 police station. Nikiwa police station, I remember asking the madam venye nilireport na they refused to write for me an OB. Madam, wewe ni mzazi? Why would you refuse to write for me an OB? Yet I'm telling you, people came to my house na mapanga. I called yesterday at night. You didn't have cars to come and rescue me. That same lady texted me that night. Na mtu ameshikwa afai kukuwa na simu. The madam told me ati ni right ya mtu kukuwa na simu. Then why did they take it from her when I was there? If it's someone's right kukuwa na simu jela.
Oh, God. Okay, more than. Okay, more than. Imagine you got water. You want to get some water?
When I drink water, I have asthma, so my chest will block.
Okay. To other viewers, I'm going to put a poll on the screen. I'm going to put that poll right there and you can see it on your screen. And the question is, how is this story making you feel? This is a mother who's fighting for her baby. And it's so unfortunate that a mother who's fighting for the justice for her own baby who has been defiled has to go through all this. So now that they've dropped 2 charges, there's a white activist who is involved in Jaylene's case. There is you call it, is it FEDA or FIDA?
There's FIDA, there's the activist, yes.
Has there been any attempt to appeal the court decision so that the other 2 charges can be reinstated?
After I came from Thika, I tried calling the activist, and she's in Geneva at the moment.
Okay.
She's in Geneva at the moment, so the time frame is a bit tricky on our side. But I called FIDA, and FIDA told me to, because they were checking on the pothole. There's a pothole you can check.
Yeah.
And all this, whatever we are saying, apart from the charge, the sentencing, the rest has equal. It's just showing they have gone to court 4 times. So FIDA was saying there are some things they are hiding.
Oh my God.
There are some things they are hiding.
Okay. Which is clear. So there are things that they are hiding. And did they suggest like the best way forward? Did you have a private, listen, okay, now looking at everything, I know, and let me talk to the viewers first. And I always keep telling people here, there are so many things that I do behind this camera that people just don't know about. For example, with Mama Jaylene, this is actually the first time where we are talking publicly about the case of Jaylene in depth, because I tried to stay away from this. I didn't want to bring this case to the public when it happened, because I was in shock myself. The day when, I remember when Mama Jaylene came to me, she was actually begging me for money to go to court because she didn't have any bus fare. See where I'm coming from? We've got, that's like, she's like Nelson. I have to fight for my child. I have to go to court. I don't even have a single penny for bus fare. That's how we started. And this is such an emotional story. And every time we talk about this story, Mama Jaylene, it just makes me sick. I'm sick of our justice system. I'm sick of our country. I'm sick of our country because bribery, you can bribe your way out. The weak, the so-called the poor, they're just second or third class citizens in this country. Exactly in our town, poverty and greed. The level of corruption. I mean, if Mama Jaylene, if you look at this, your story reminds me of who? A couple of months ago, I was here fighting for a young baby. Who remembers Kadogo?
Yeah, who was raped and killed.
Yes. Who remembers fighting? Who remembers the way I fought here just to stop the funeral? Who remembers that night? Who remembers? And by the way, guess what? With everything, with every piece of evidence pointing out that the step-grandfather was involved, that the step-grandfather was the one who did it, with all this evidence, still, No arrest, no court case up to now. So it's like, you know what, Mama Jaylene, it's like in Kenya we have this thing. When something happens and we are crying justice for, we don't get justice. Justice for Jeff. There was no justice for Jeff. A young mother, this year has been one of the crazy, this year has been so, I've had every case here. Remember Eric, the 22-year-old boy who was killed, 23-year-old boy who was killed? Yes. Do we know who the killer was? Yes. Has he ever been arrested? No. Jaylene, that boy walked to court, walked to the police station, walked out, and has never been seen ever since. And I'm having a mother who's still up to now, who's crying out to me, Nelson, will I ever get justice for my son? Yes. Rose, yes, that guy has never been arrested. He went to the police station, walked out, that was it. He's just kind of for you, man.
Akona mtoto mmoja. She has a son of which nilikuwa na, most of the time because she used to work, nilikuwa namkalilia na mtoto. She has one kid. And I remember there's a time I mentioned, nikamwambia mtoto wako anashindaga akisema Father Francis. Uko sure Father Francis hafanyi mtoto kitu? Because I've heard stories in Catholic schools, father wanasodomize watoto. Na nikamwambia as much as mtu mwechukuana naye si baba mtoto wako, ebu mwambie angalie mtoto, ama wewe mwenyewe jiangalilie mtoto juu the way anashinda akisema Father Francis, Father Francis Subaru, tuweka kwa Subaru. There's something, mtoto hawezi ongelelea mtu hivyo for so long kama hakuna kitu. And she was like, hapana. Nikamwambia ni sawa, mimi nimekuambia tu as a mother, because me I'll be concerned. Nimpeleke si angaliwe, kama ako sawa ni sawa, because hakuna mtu anatakiaga mtu mabaya. Kama yuko sawa, you know the way forward. And she was like, hakuna kitu kama hiyo inaweza fanyika. Nikasema since mtoto si wangu, there's nothing I can do.
Okay, so now something else. There's something else I would like to ask you, Mama Jaylene. We suspect that even the doctors, when your daughter was examined, we suspect the husband was also, they said it's possible that even the husband was defiling your baby. Yeah. Was the husband ever charged?
No.
No.
The doctors said that, and it is in actually one of the doctors, because we went to how many different hospitals? 4 different hospitals. And the doctors were with the same conclusion apart from Kenyatta. Which Kenyatta, I'm sure they were compromised, because Nelson Kenyatta is a very big hospital.
Yeah.
When I tell you a big hospital, I mean a big hospital, because in 2014, I lost my son outside Kenyatta.
Yeah.
I was coming from a small hospital. They had called Kenyatta, but mwenye alishika sio mwenye alikuwaga kwa receiving emergency. My kid turned color white kwa emergency. Anafaa kureceiviwa, but wanarushaniana, ati mtu anapigaga simu, mtu anafanyaga. They were throwing words at each other. Nilikuwa nimebeba mtoto alikuwa color purple, and the kid turned white on my hands. They didn't tell me my kid is dead. They took my kid, wakambook in, wakamweka juu. Nikienda 6 kuangalia mtoto ndio naambiwa nisishike mtoto. Nashindwa, other kids are moving. Why is my kid not moving? Why is my kid white? That's when I found my kid is dead. So, Jaylene, polisi hatuja report tunaenda Kenyatta. See, we are entering like normal people.
That's
right. Do you know tulipata madaktari wanatungojea? A big hospital like that, a kid can die when they are looking. But this one for defilement, you find doctors are waiting for you. How logic is that? How logic is that? And they really tortured me, because a normal procedure, si ni kuingia kuangaliwa and to go home. They made me sleep there. I have another kid, 2 kids at home. They admitted me forcefully, telling me they'll do a procedure called examination and anesthesia quite early in the morning. So the IO was, tutaenda tutarudi, tumepewa gari ya polisi. Because I remember in courts, I highlighted, I said, hii process yote, it's genius. Hii kitu yote imefanyika because I'm financially unstable. When you keep on telling me, enda kuja fanya, kuja polisi wanakuambia ununue chai ndo wakupeleke hata hizo examination. I remember I used to tell them, sina pesa. If you feel like you'll do, it's okay. If you feel like you won't do, ndatupilia kesi. God will know how to deal with it. Na mimi nikipatana na yeye, ni kisu mtakuwa mnakujia mwili. I remember there's a point I just told them that, you know what, do you, next time, I will kill her, mukujie mimi na mwili, tubebe kwa Maria mwenye amnaga. I told them that. So one IO who was very good, people say she's naive and stupid, but me, I took her to be good because Kotini alisema, this man, financially we are draining her because I have gone with her in counseling sessions. Counseling ya mtoto ina cost 3,500 Nelson.
You
imagine hiyo time na hiyo time alikuwa anaenda counseling mara 2 kwa wiki, alafu bado polisi akwambie ulipe uweke gari mafuta, gari ya wanaga. We used to take cars from Juja police station.
Oh my God.
So the court ikawaambia nisiitishwe kitu yoyote na tupewe gari na dereva. That is how tuli end up Kenyatta. So polisi akamwambia usijali, tuko na gari ya serikali, iko na mafuta, tutaenda turudi. Wakakataa mpaka they called, I remember they called like 10 more nurses in the room. So me, I'm like, wow, this thing is serious. I'm confused. I've left my kids without anybody because I knew ni kuenda hosi na kutoka. So I'm confused. Sina credit ya kupiga tiniambia watu waende wachukue watoto. I was so confused, Nelson. I was crying. Yani, you would really tell I was disturbed. I was crying. I'm confused. I don't know what to do. Ikafika 6. I tried and put myself to sleep. Ikafika 6. They're not calling us. Kwanza usiku, wakamtoa, this is the pelvic, wakamtoa damu hapa na shindano kubwa, Nelson, a very big needle. Wakisema wanaenda kuangalia ati kama akona damu. Nauza, what is examination and anesthesia? I have Googled and I've seen what it is. I have asked several nurses. Hakuna mali anafanyiwa procedure. So why are you even removing the blood?
Jesus.
Ananiambia, madam, wesi daktari, tulia. Mimi nanyamaza, but Nelson, if you could, I remember we talked with you. That time I was confused. I looked like a mad woman. I had neglected myself. If there was a time, I normally look at myself and tell myself I'm a strong woman. It was at that time.
Absolutely. You are.
Indeed,
It was still at that time that I broke up with my husband because he never used to understand what I'm going through.
It's tough. That's right.
So at that time, I was confused. I looked mad. Actually, also, I remember there's a day I came out of the house. I stayed in Kimbo. I walked from Kimbo to Roiro town without shoes. I realized I don't have shoes when I'm at Roiro.
Hugs and love to you. You're a strong woman. You're a strong woman. Hug and love to you. Stay strong.
I swear to God, she's so strong, man. She's so strong. She's so strong. As Mama Jaylene, you know, the thing is always, sometimes I look up and I tell God, I thank God for this platform, because I've really had to confront cases that are such a huge wake-up call. I mean, to the entire humanity. Last year, the same thing. I was just in my car, I was driving, I woke up in the morning, it was a beautiful Sunday. I woke up in the morning, it was such a beautiful Sunday morning, the sun was shining. I step into my car, I'm playing the music out loud, the roof is open, the windows, I open up the windows, and then my phone rings, I pick up the phone, and I will never forget the cry I heard on the phone of a mother who was telling me how her 3-year-old boy had been killed. And that story, I'm telling you, it will remain the top 3 most emotional story I've ever covered on VOTV. TV, what I had to go through fighting for that case, a 3-year-old boy who was killed by her friend. And that boy was Davy. And the way Davy was killed was, if now actually as we're talking about Jaylene, because Jaylene is 2 years. I mean, just look at all these cases that I've had to deal with, right? Jaylene is 2 years old. Kadogo, 2 years old. Unfortunately, Kadogo now she's not here with us. Kwanza Kadogo alikuwa amechomwa, amerepiwa. Yani mpaka walimchoma. On top of everything else that monster did, kumchoma. That's why I keep on saying there are those pictures that I'll never put out. But this is Kenya. Wale ambao walimuua, they're still walking scot-free, right? Mama Jaylene, you're such a strong woman. Let me ask you a question, because this is something which actually took a toll on your marriage. Mama Jaylene, are you and your husband still together?
No, we are co-parenting.
You're co-parenting because it was too much.
Yeah.
It took a toll on the marriage. Guys, again, let me remind you, we are looking at, this is the case of a 2-year-old baby girl who was defiled by a woman. 2 years. Mama Jaylene, with all that has happened, she bribed her way out. She had three counts. It was supposed to be defilement, was supposed to be child abuse, and was supposed to be
indecent acts.
Indecent act. Now they dropped 2 charges. Now she got 1. Now she has been sentenced to 3 years in prison.
Yes, and even the indecent act, Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
As I was going through, because after after I was in court that day, even as I told you, I went through the Kenya law and I was looking at it. And the indecent act is 10 years. But Nelson, will that 10 years bring any justice to my kid? No. Atatoka after that 10 years, akuja apate mtoto wa Rose, afanye the same thing, apelekwe ndani ama Rose akose kujua.
They won't stop.
Afanyie mtoto wa Mwangangi, afanyie mtoto wa Eva, afanyie mtoto wa mwingine. Such people are inhuman, to be honest. Even as I'm crying, Nelson, I'm not crying because of any other thing. Hata akifungwa 40 years, Nelson, it won't change what happened to my kid. But as a mother, nalilia watoto wa mama wengine, because I know how hard it is. Even for my worst enemy, Nelson, I wouldn't want such a thing. Even for my worst enemy.
Absolutely.
Because I know how it feels. You feel betrayed because this is someone you used to trust.
Mm-hmm.
I normally don't keep friends anymore around me.
Absolutely.
Because it costed me my marriage. It costed me my child's dignity. It costed me a lot. My sanity. It costed me a lot. Absolutely. And there's no price she'll pay. That will make me feel contented, to be honest. But whatever the money they have taken, Nelson, I told the lawyer from FIDA. I suspect, you remember I had put up with Plug TV. Plug TV is a Kenya. Plug TV used to be my friend Kitambo Kidogo Nelson.
Yeah.
I used to act anti-boss, so he used to come for extras. He's a friend to Mayweather. And when I told him, I remember I had reached out to Eve Mungai, the same way I reached out to you. Everyone was like, atutaki maselebwa, anti-boss, sijui atutaki nini, you know. And it was only you. Honestly, that's what they told me. Kwanza Eve Mungai was very categorical. Mi story yangu ni ya kuexpose maceleb. Akaulizwa na Plug TV, si huyu ni celeb.
Bure kabisa.
Oh.
Bure kabisa. That's a point. Yes, exactly. You know what? Don't I say that, Melissa?
You said that earlier on.
Exactly. I was talking about this actually today.
Yes, when we started the show.
Exactly.
How dare she? Akiata nashindwa kitu ya kuongea. It's all okay.
You know what, Melissa? Because they are chasing dopamine. You're chasing dopamine. They're chasing dopamine. And that's why, listen to me, and I'm going to say this again. This is what makes Vote TV such a unique platform, because what we do here, you never see this anywhere else. You need courage to deal with the kind of devils that I deal with here every day. You need wisdom. And above all, you need God. It's not easy. Just listen to the story of Mama Jaylene. Yeah. Don't I always talk about these so-called content creators in Kenya? You're chasing dopamine, man. You're chasing dopamine. But you know what? Dopamine will never build your legacy.
But their time will also come.
I'm telling you. A time will come and you'll be old.
Yeah.
And you look back at all the nonsense you were doing, and you'll feel so bad about yourself.
It's always generation to generation. Watasema walirogewa watoto, but it's what they did.
That's right. Mama Jaylene, you're such an inspiration. Don't we agree?
We do. And very strong.
Let me read this comment from Brian Amasema. That woman was doing rituals. Let's talk about the issue of spiritual rituals, actually, because I've had those who remember when I was dealing with the case of David. That was the same thing we went through, and that's what we found out. It's true, because they'll do tattoos and they'll cut, they cut the skin. Remember that case, Jaylene, Mama Jaylene? You remember?
Yes, I remember.
Remember the way they even had the snake tattoo over here. They had all these kind of different, and then they were sucking blood out of both brothers. And when they killed Davy, they kind of like the way the body was laying down. They had his blood was sprinkled around in a certain way. And when as they were doing all this investigation, I said automatically, this is a ritual killing. When I look at your baby, whatever this woman was doing with your baby, and I do believe beyond any reasonable doubt that she was doing it with her husband, is also associated with this kind of ritual act.
Because a normal, the IO from Juja was telling me, a normal husband after such an act,